XRP is absolutely ready to explode, and we're going to show you why today in this video. Welcome back to the show. This is Zip. I hope everyone's doing fantastic and you're having a great day wherever you are, and you're keeping your mindset on lock in this crypto journey we're on together. We're going to jump straight into it, and today we're going to look at the markets. We're going to talk about rumors out there about the SEC Ripple case. We have ETF news. We've got crypto as absolutely a key component in the future financial systems. We've got zero taxes we're going to discuss. So just a lot going on there. Again, I'm a utility maxi. I am invested in projects that have real world solve, real world use case, ISO 222 compliant. Let's look at the markets. We see in the 24-hour one-day clock, XRP is up about 4.5%. Take notice, though, year to date, it is still up almost 10%. So our portfolios are growing, have grown. We know what's coming. Take particular attention. Let's look at Stellar. Stellar is up 12% on the one day as well. And we know that XRP and Stellar seem to tend to run together, but the markets overall, I do not pay attention to the markets much. I do not care about prices. I have defined laddered exit strategies that I employ within my portfolio. And I've been asked in many of the comments, what's my portfolio look like? Well, you're pretty much looking at it right here. Again, all utility with a couple other dabblings of things in there that from Flare and Songbird. That Flare put videos out there. I believe Flare is absolutely going to be huge, and I'm waiting to be able to mint some XRP out there, but there's videos out there on that. Again, long-term macro view, non-emotional, knowing where things are going, and let's get into some of the excitement that's going on out there. Eleanor Terrett dropped this. She says, Scoop, 2 well-placed sources tell me that the SEC Gov versus Ripple case is in the process of wrapping up and could be over soon. Her understanding is that the delay in reaching an agreement is due to Ripple's legal team negotiating more favorable terms regarding the August District Court ruling, which imposed a $125 million fine on the company and included a permanent injunction preventing the company from selling XRP to institutional investors. Again, I've said from the beginning that this one's a lot harder to unravel because the judge is ruling. As we're seeing, the SEC absolutely been dropping cases and making declarations of different things within the crypto space. And we're just waiting for this case to drop. And then XRP is off to the races again for sure. Now, Jeremy Hogan put out here his content, kind of what I was talking about, how this case could be wrapping up soon. However, in his purview, again, because it's so technical, the only way for this case that could be over soon is if Ripple and the SEC reach a private settlement agreement, which would vary from the judgment, dismiss the appeal, and then simply never take the terms of settlement agreement back to the trial court to be ratified. This is possible, but assuming the injunction is the sticking point, the SEC would have to agree not to enforce the court's injunction. He has a hard time believing the SEC would agree to that, but possibly it could agree to something more bleak, such as providing Ripple a path to actually register sales of XRP to institutional investors, as an example. Meaning Ripple, once again, would get what it needs while the SEC doesn't blatantly snub the court's order. So he believes it can be done. Again, this one's a lot more complicated. Ripple's wanting to get as much as they can out of this, out of a settlement agreement. But because the courts are involved, they want to make sure that they don't snub the court, they don't snub the judge, and they handle things in a correct manner so that all parties come out okay. Absolutely exciting. And if this happens, man, it is absolutely going to explode. And today, the SEC has a Sunshine Act notice. Is this part of the topic in there? Negotiating the terms, negotiating how we unravel this case and this appeal? I got to believe it absolutely is. So we'll keep our attention on this, and if anything comes out, I'll definitely be posting it out on X. Once again, if you're on X, give me a like, give me a follow out there, put out the latest information out there as things are coming out, and we want to continue to grow that community on X as well. Other big news that came out, Ripple has secured regulatory approval from the Dubai Financial Services Authority, DFSA, making it the first blockchain payments provider licensed in the DIFC. This milestone unlocks fully regulated cross-border crypto payments in the UAE. Absolutely another huge momentum for Ripple as we see them just expanding everywhere in the world, positioning themselves, positioning XRP to be the next financial part of the financial system, as that financial system is being upgraded and brought up from an archaic, slow, inundated system to a more modern system, so that we have 24/7 payments at a for less cost going on. So very exciting. Again, macro view, we're seeing all of these developments with Ripple's growth. It should give you confidence in what you own and what you have, and the future is absolutely bright. More news, more XRP, another ETF filing by Franklin Templeton. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're at 14 right now for XRP ETFs. So we're in that window, with many of them being further ahead in the process. But Franklin Templeton is an absolute powerhouse. And we have to ask ourselves, what do all these institutions, these folks see from a big picture with XRP? And we know that as these ETFs are approved, and I do believe they will be approved without a doubt, because of the new SEC and the way that they're looking at crypto and making the US a crypto capital of the world. But what is that going to bring? More institutions coming in to be able to purchase, more retail coming in to be able to purchase XRP through these ETFs. Now, for you and I, and many folks listening to this content, if you're new, we like to hold our own XRP, because it's going to build in the future when we have DeFi capability and other passive ROI capabilities that come into play in the future. So part of my philosophy is I'm never going to sell all of my crypto bags. I'm going to sell a portion of them so that I can do the things that I need to do to support my family and build that generational wealth in the future. But I'm going to maintain and hold a large bag in the future, so that I have that passive income capability, and we'll be doing more videos on that in the future. But again, exciting news here, seeing it with XRP, and another ETF dropped. Smoke, always putting out good information out there, and let's listen to Wisdom Tree and how, again, crypto is becoming mainstream. It's in the news, in the mainstream news every day. It's being discussed at the highest levels of our administration, and crypto is absolutely a key component going into the financial future and the financial system, and being deeply integrated, XRP being one of the main players. Let's take a listen to what they're saying here.
Crypto is no longer on the fringes. It's becoming a key component of modern multi-asset portfolios. As regulation evolves, institutional adoption accelerates, and blockchain innovations reshape the financial landscape, 2025 presents an unprecedented opportunity to embrace the future. The question is no longer if digital assets will go mainstream, but how fast.
2025 is the year to thrive, and we're seeing the regulation, we're seeing the stablecoin Genius Act being implemented. We're going to listen to this video here in a minute to discuss, again, stable coins and how all of this transformation is setting us up for a much better financial environment in the future and payment mechanisms. Let's take a listen to what they have, what Greg Kidd has to say here.
On the topic of innovation, crypto czar David Sachs, he promised stablecoin legislation within 100 days. We are seeing the Genius Act gain, bipartisan traction. Really good name. Yeah. I know you've been engaging with policymakers, elected officials who are working on that bill. How are you feeling about it in terms of its impact on the industry? What's it doing right? What should be included in there? What are your thoughts?
One is there were three forms of money that are all innovations that could happen over the legacy financial system, which is 50 years old. One could be central bank digital currency. We're not going to do that because people on the right and the left are worried about different aspects about it, whether it's privacy controls or just too much government control, whatever. It's not going to happen. That's been taken off the table. So that just leaves stable coins and potentially deposit tokens, which is the thing we're really pushing, which is using blockchain technology, but doing it through the banking system versus like stable coins, which are going to use blockchain technology, but it's going to be rolled out by fintechs. Kind of like the way Tether and USDC already work. So I support the fact that there's going to be some stablecoin legislation to make it more likely that companies are going to issue stablecoins in the US, in US dollars for use here and around the world.
Again, the Genius Act, I put a video out yesterday or a couple of days ago, specifically talking about the Genius Act and the stablecoins, which again, RLUSD, which is from Ripple, is going to be one of the large stable coins in the US that is going to be utilized. Remember, stable coins will be the front end, as Greg was talking about there, moving money around from state to state within the federal environment, and then using cross-border technology like XRP to move money across all of the world. The system is absolutely changing. XRP is a huge part of that, and exciting to see all of these developments going on. And we've been waiting for so long, and now all the puzzle pieces again are coming together with the regulation that we need. We need the regulation that's going to lead the charge. It's going to open the doors so that the institutions can come in and they know how to custody, they know how to handle, utilize stable coins, and the whole new financial environment. More news out there. We know we've been talking about what President Trump is doing and what the administration wants to do. And this is going to talk about taxes and having a tax-free environment. We know there's been discussions about tax-free crypto, specifically those cryptos, those projects that are US based. So all of this is happening so quickly and the developments are coming out. But can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, a tax-free environment to where we don't have to pay taxes anymore, and we would be able to take profits on our crypto, as an example, tax-free or even at a depreciated amount? We saw Japan has lowered their crypto environment taxes to 20%. That is absolutely huge. Again, bringing in all of retail investors into the fold, all the folks that are still not invested in crypto and don't see that yet. Taxes is a huge implication, and it will also change the way, it will change the exit strategies as we're unwinding some of our investments. But let's take a listen to what they have to say here.
Who cares? I tell you what, who cares? Donald Trump cares. And when we balance the budget, you know what that means? That means our deficits stop. Interest rates come smashing down. His goal is to have external revenue. The way I think about it, we all are so used to paying taxes. We're so used to it. We have like Stockholm syndrome. Don't stop the Internal Revenue Service, God forbid. How about this? The rest of the world leans on our economy, breathes off our economy. Not only is our economy $29 trillion GDP, but we consume $20 trillion a year. We are the buyer of everybody's stuff. We buy everybody's stuff. So who's more important? The people who sell stuff or the people who buy stuff? So we are the buyer of everybody's commodities, products, goods and services. Everything comes from us, right? Let them pay a membership fee. We all understand that model. Let them pay. How about we, you and I, and every single person we know pay less? How about no tax on tips? How about no tax on overtime? How about no Social Security? How about all those things? These are the kind of thoughts that will change America. I know what his goal is. No tax for anybody who makes less than $150,000.
Absolutely huge news. And the macro view, again, we have to look at the political side of this and what's going on. I am not a huge political evaluator. I look at the markets as a whole, but this definitely plays a part in how us and our crypto investments are going to do and our exit strategies. That's why it's important. They're changing everything right before our eyes, and they'll have you look over here and then change something else in the other direction. And that's why I'm trying to bring you the macro views and the content so that you are well prepared to know where these things are going in the future, and you can make wise, smart decisions with your investments. Again, not financial advice, but I'm a long-term holder, and all of this comes into play of how I'm going to unravel some of my holdings to absolutely create generational wealth for my family in the future. Exciting. We're going to keep an eye on it. I hope you enjoyed this content today. Please continue to like, subscribe, get the word out as we're trying to grow a community that absolutely resonates together so we can spend the rest of our days together on the most beautiful beaches of the world. With that, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, keep your mindset on lock, and until next time, Zip is out.